Half a day, I'm Jeff Marchessault, and this is Guam News Watch, a new standard in local news on CW4. Here, the formula is simple: news that's easy to understand, that reports what's not being reported, that tells you why you should care. We want you to watch our news, and we intend to earn a place in your living room. It all starts with this cast, 5 minutes weeknights at 6 and 10. Then we launch a half-hour newscast April 26th. More on that soon enough. Now, our top story. While many questions remain on the impact national health reform will have on Guam, Budget Director Bertha Dueñas says so far so good for GovGuam's 2011 budget, specifically health care funding for the poor.
It appears that it's going to help the MIP funding, and only because of the migration from one program to the other.
Dueñas adds there are still many unknowns about the long-term effects of this new federal law, and she's waiting on more info to better understand its demands for local government funding. While Congresswoman Berdalio is touting the benefits of Obama's health care reform law, Governor Camacho is concerned the burden will shift to cash-strapped GovGuam. Jennifer Robigo with more.
Governor Camacho says Guam will lose in the long run in President Obama's new health care reform bill. Camacho says the people of Guam will be shortchanged, while local taxpayers will feel the pinch of this recent passage.
The monies we're spending now for the Medical Indigent Program, MIP, and I think an appropriated amount of $15 to $17 million, will probably have to be shifted now for the expenses mandated by this new health care reform bill.
The governor says the people of Guam will find out in due time that this bill will prove more costly for local private sector companies and for GovGuam.
We did not get a lifting of the caps for Medicaid, Medicare, as was promised by our Congresswoman in trying to negotiate with it.
Camacho says his concerns lie most with GMH, who already services 7 out of 10 uninsured patients, which slows its ability down to pay its $12 million debt to vendors.
In other news, an influential local family has stalled the construction of a much-needed highway on Guam. And as you'll learn in this report, it could be too late to do anything about it. This disputed parcel is blocking the construction of a multi-lane highway that would alleviate traffic congestion for northern residents. For several years, the Calvo family has asserted property claims inside airport boundaries near their private Mighty compound. The dispute with the Calvos remained unresolved when the airport hired the Calvo and Clark law firm as primary counsel over a year ago. Despite clear conflicts of interest, Calvo and Clark continue to advise the airport on matters concerning lands to which the Calvo family is trying to lay claim. Finally, last Tuesday, the board voted to block Calvo and Clark from representing Guam's airport on Teeds and land issues.
Due to various potential conflicts of interest, that the law firm of Calvo and Clark ceased to represent GIAA in all Teeds and land issues.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
But removal may come too late. With a 2012 FAA deadline looming, GovGuam may lose hundreds of millions of dollars, and the people of Guam may lose out on a highway needed to alleviate the gridlock anticipated during the military buildup. When we come back, discovering the key to Guam's prosperity after the break. Welcome back. Guam needs funding for the military buildup, and high-level players finally agreed. U.S. EPA Admiral Robert Willard of U.S. Pacific Command and Marine Commander for the Pacific, Lieutenant General Keith Stadler, are sending a message that Guam cannot go it alone in upgrading infrastructure to meet buildup demands. Yet for We Are Guahan, money isn't the issue.
There's a right way to do it, and the DEIS doesn't propose the right way for Guam. So we want a sustainable Guam, and when they show us something, then we'll respond to it.
Money is an issue for local schools as Guam gets $83 million from the U.S. Education Department. One Edu power couple says math and science are key to economic growth during and after the buildup.
If the University of Guam and the Department of Education have their way, students may soon develop math and science skills on par with the other students from around the world. Guam DOE plans to use $1.8 million of more than $94 million in ERA funds for Project STEM, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics.
The idea there is to develop a curriculum that will encourage and enhance our students' ability to engage in career and technical education.
According to Underwood, George Washington High School hosts this pilot program. She says DOE looks forward to having professors with expertise in those areas assist their students. UOG President Dr. Robert Underwood adds,
those students at GW are going to have the opportunity to get technical training at GCC, which is right next door, or advanced lab work here at UOG.
According to DOE Superintendent, every high school student will have an option to participate in the STEM program. Reported for Guam Newswatch, I'm David Macaluso.
That's keeping it fresh with local news and balanced views on Guam Newswatch. I'm Jeff Marchessault. Good night.